Melanated family, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Melanated Convo. You know how we do it. Great interviews, great discussions. Today on the show, though, right? Because I interview people from all around the country. Lawyers, politicians, street dudes, business owners. I'm all black. So as long as you pushing the movement, as long as you got something positive to offer to our people, I'm there for it. So this brother reached out to me and I was excited. Being that I'm in Sacramento, y'all. I'm in Sacramento, California. And whenever I get an opportunity to interview somebody who lives in my soil, who putting they feet to the ground in the area that I live in, it's extremely exciting, family. So today on the show, I got the brother Toriano the Barber, who ain't just a barber though, right? Because I appreciate when I see brothers, I understand the barber game. Like you don't have to deal with corporate America. The structure is a little bit different. I appreciate brothers who take that route. But when you get into the business ownership aspect of it, you change everything for your family and for yourself. You know what I mean? So I appreciate the fact that this brother owns his own barbershop. This brother is a mentor to the community. This brother is dibble and dabble and writing books and having his information inside of books. So look, family, it's great for us to care about our children, care about our well-being. But every time I see a brother who step outside of that to give a fuck about our community, to give a fuck about the kids and the young men coming after, I appreciate that. And the brother's a father, just like me. He said he is single father of 4. We're going to have to talk about that shit because I know how hard it is being a man having to deal with kids all day. You feel me? So on the show today, brand new episode of the Melanated Convo podcast, we got the brother Toriano Mason. How you doing today, family?
Blessings, brother. Blessings. I'm doing very well. Very well. Thank you for asking. And you?
Definitely. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm Toriano, bro. I'm grinding, man. This is my passion, and I feel like this is my calling. So I got to do everything I can to showcase my ability, but really just my people. You see everything we got going on in our community, man. Everything going on in the country in general. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
it's important as black men that we step up and do whatever we can to affect positive change. You feel me?
Yes, sir. I do.
Definitely. So first thing I want to get into, because like I was saying, it's interesting to me. I've seen a lot of brothers who don't really fool with corporate America that much, and they'll go into being a barber. And I think that's a great profession. But talk to me about your story. Like, what was your inception? Why did you decide to go into barbering opposed to another trade?
I chose what chose me. Barbering chose me. I worked a lot of jobs. I'm not gonna say a few. I worked a lot of jobs, short-lived, but after 10 or 15 of them, I started asking myself a few questions, and I started asking myself basically what I wanted out of the job, what I really needed in order for me to maintain being employed. You know, I've been fired from every job, that I worked proudly too. You know? I'm that guy. I'm proud to be fired from 15, 16, 20. You know, it didn't fit me, so I had to look myself in the mirror and ask myself. You know, obviously I had to produce some income, so I had to ask myself what it was that I wanted from the job. And you know, after discussing those things with myself, barbering was on the menu. It kind of came down to the last thing on the menu.
And I rock with that because I know a lot of my brothers get into corporate America and say, okay, fuck this, I'm not gonna work this job, and they end up going the street route. They end up taking a path that may end them in jail or dead or whatever. So, brother, I salute you for still, because again, that feeling that we get as men when you on a job and it's $15 an hour, $12, $13 an hour, and your ass being told what to do. That feeling that says, fuck that. That's
disrespectfully though. Told what to do disrespectfully though. That's the problem that I had right there.
And that feeling is good to me as long as you channel that into something that can be prolific for you. So any type of business.
I tried that route though. I tried the other route. It just,
okay.
it it didn't work fast.
Mm.
I was trying to dibble and dabble, and the police walked up. I'm like, man, this looked bad on both hands. So that it was. I understood quick. It was probably about a 2 to 3 month thing, and I understood quickly that wasn't it. So again, redirected. My path has been laid out by God, and I just had to accept that. I kind of have seen a lot of things, and I've seen them from not always the best perspective, but I've also seen things, like the police walk up on me, and this is an opportunity to make a decision. I didn't show back up to that particular job, hired there too. I didn't show back up. That was it. I'm not good at this. The police is walking up on me, and the guy. So I'm like, man, this dude gonna think I'm with the police, So that kind of detoured me from that whole industry itself.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I want to address real quick, because we're gonna get to some more stuff, but we got a commenter that's directing it towards you, Toriano. So he's basically saying, and I don't know how much info you want to give him, but he's saying to start a barbershop, because again, we know getting your license to be a barber, that's a process where you got to get clientele and the whole nine. But he want a little bit of insight on starting a barbershop.
Everything about me, like I said, is pretty much untraditional. It's not going to be that story that sounds good. I had an opportunity where, to my knowledge, it costs roughly around. Let me answer the question a little more directly first. It cost roughly around $20,000, $20,000 to open a nice establishment and get it going. But my situation was a little different. One of the barbers that I was taking a break with, we was taking a break in a lunch break, and he had presented a phone number and said that one of his clients said that his wife was running a salon and she couldn't continue to run it because of hospitals, medical situation issues. So he wasn't licensed at the time. Shout out to my boy Tilo, Antoine Scoggins. He is still a barber. I want to make sure I acknowledge him because he was very influential in this whole journey and process, because he could have been a hater. But he kept it G, kept it player. And when he said, man, this dude gave me this number, but I'm not ready. Instantly, I'll call it. So I called the number. And, he said all of this stuff that was blah, 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 that, it wasn't too far out of what I thought I could do. And I showed up. And I ended up subletting. They were subletting the building, and it ended up kind of going bad after about 6 months. The lady, that particular people was saying, don't talk to the owner, telling the owner don't talk to me. I was her nephew from the Bay Area who was just running her shop, but she was playing both ends between the middle. The lady ended up talking to me, telling me that they wasn't paying the rent that I was giving them. So she had to come to me. And I'm telling her I'm paying. And so she offered me a place, suite next door to the one, which was bigger. And I ended up starting, man, with my clippers and a chair. And I didn't even have a station at the time. I just had that space. You know what I mean? So it was, for me, it probably cost me at the time maybe about $5,000-$6,000 just to smooth everything out and get in and whatever. But it was, I dove into the water. I dove in without no thought of failing. So, I hope that answered this question.
No, it do, bro. And that's what I was doing.
You present yourself as ready to do those, to be there, So it's not going to always be that $20,000 situation when you show that desire to be that person,
Yeah, because
walk into you sometimes. The door open when you walk into it.
Hey, man, ain't that something? Our Nation Records. And I think another thing he's saying, bro, sometimes you just got to step out on faith a little bit.
Absolutely.
Like sometimes you got to not have it all figured out, but say, fuck it, I'm moving forward. As you go, you're figuring it out. You're dealing with the bumps and the bruises. I think sometimes, bro, when people ask me or people talk about something they want to start, something they want to do, and they giving me their plans, they giving me the directions, the first thing I say is start.
Yes.
Have you started yet? Go ahead and get it started. then we can talk about some shit. We can kind of map out the direction, but sometimes you just got to put your feet to the pavement and say, I'm going to do this thing.
Talk to me about something that you've done. Do something, you know, just get out there, you know, get out there, you know, and that's a lot of the red tape isn't as long as they got us believing that the red tape is. You know, it's not that many hurdles and hoops and all of this stuff that they have us believing that you can't be in business. It's, you know, a barbershop is simple as paying the rent. If you do that at home, you know, paying the smud, you know, it's as simple as that, and applying yourself as the business, what a barbershop is, you know, is really simplistic, but it will be all drawn out if you look to, you know, certain entities to tell you what it takes, you know.
Real shit. And then our Nation Records is basically saying that you, Toriano, used to cut at artistic fingers, and now this brother is inspired to open up his own barbershop. That's important too, because you know something I be thinking about sometime, bro. When you on a path of doing something that's liberating or something that's gonna liberate you, like you're not even thinking about people around at the time. You got to get this shit popping on your own.
Yeah.
But you never know who watching.
Right.
You never know who's observing your actions and how you motivating them. So that's an important thing, bro.
Right. And I hear a lot about that, and the clients at this oftentimes pull me to the side. They'll watch me for a long time before they pull me to the side, and will then say, I appreciate what you're doing with the youth. It's not going to be a one time, I heard you one time. It's every time I hear you, you know, every time I see you. But it's accountability and responsibility. Those are our children. Those are I mean, people don't really understand. Those are our children. That's what we are dependent on. That's our next phase. And we have to invest in them. You're going to get out what you put in. You could expect what you deposited to come out of that. You know, so if it's goodness, if it's love and it's care, you can expect that to come out of that. But if you're not putting nothing in, don't expect nothing. And you're gonna get something too.
Yep.
You're gonna get what somebody else might have deposited, you know. You know, those are our children. It's imperative that we teach them the way. I'm currently, and I like to help our Nation Records. I like to be, you know, in any way that I can, in any information that I can, help him get on that track. And what I'm doing is I'm actively taking this 23, 24, 5 years and turning it into like 5 years for the children.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So they ain't got to go through everything you went through. Lay it out a little cleaner for them.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm laying it out clean. I'm laying it out honest. I'm laying out the foundation, and I'm giving them the foundations that I got from Artistic Fingers. I haven't changed that. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I seen Lord Tony. Shout out to Lord Tony, who
I know his name. I've never been to his shop, but I know his name.
He the guru. He the Sacramento.
That's
to
what
the
I hear.
Bay, and probably farther than I really know how far his game and went. But man, that man put people on the map. If you worked for him, you own a barbershop. And if you don't and you didn't want to, or you just didn't apply the game, because he made the sense. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm still running that same play, you know, and he's still cutting. That man called me the other day, told me I need to get back to working on Monday. I'm trying to retire. I said, this dude, I love him for that though. You know, I would say, you don't work on Monday? I said, man, I'm trying to take off on Thursday. What is But yeah, but that's what I'm actively doing for the youth, and I'm providing a place where they love being. They're being cultivated. You know, they're being fed, and they're being fed what they want, what their appetite is desiring at this particular time. This is a new day. It's a new age, and the children they different. I just want to give them a little bit of the foundation that we had and we grew up on, the respect and the integrity, and, you know, just some leadership. You know, you don't have to, the internet got them following everybody they could follow, and they don't know who they following. They don't ever know who they is by the time they look up, because they following everybody. You know, so I'm trying to give them, I'm working on giving them that direction to, you know, be yourself and do what you want to do, because you can do what you want to do.
Literally.
Apply yourself. You know, That's my mission to the youth, you know.
Yeah, and that's dope, bro. I mean, each one teach one, because it sounds like Laura Tony was a great mentor for you.
Man,
Yeah.
you missed it, man. If
Damn.
you missed it, you wasn't trying to get it. You know, he had a stern hand. Everything he said was about you getting better and getting more money. You know, everything he talked about, he had to get his dad was a barber. You know, he came from a line of that, so he already had the understanding of it, and I needed that. So I took to that, like I still stop by and pay homage and, let him know, sometime with a gift in hand, let him know this is real. I appreciate what you've done for me, because it allowed me to walk in my purpose and be instrumental to the youth today. You know what I mean? I want to give back what I received and some more,
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. And bro, a lot of my platform is based on just dealing with what we do to each other. It's based on dealing with what happens to us by the hands of people outside of the community. But what I tell people all the time, like, getting to where we need to go to, Toriano, it's gonna take everybody, and whatever your lane is, fulfill that lane. Like, if you ain't the marching type nigga, you don't want to get out there and march, you want to protest, cool. Talk to a young dude.
Yeah.
Get it, like put yourself in a position where even if you don't say a word, people can watch you and see your moves and say, okay, I want to do that.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Each one teach one is what this shit could be about, because what you was telling me about your homeboy who put you on the game about the shop that was for sale, he could have not told you. He could have been like, I can't afford it, so I ain't telling nobody. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's a real thing. And it's probably upwards of 50% of people doing it, it's a crab in a bucket syndrome. It's terrible. That's so cliche, but it's really that. It's really that. And it's what I've learned to do recently is, when I see you and I see your podcast, I want a podcast. That's why I want to be on the podcast. I got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? I don't know how many years you didn't put down for this to potentially happen, but I got to start somewhere. And this is day one for me. You know what I mean? But I see you like I see myself. I want your podcast to be successful. I subscribe to it. I started looking at videos to see who I'm going to talk to, because we have to see each other as ourselves. I have to want for you what I want for myself. I have to want for you what you want for you,
all day long, bro.
Yeah. So until we start doing that, it's pretty much a setback. We have to help each other up, because it's helping us up.
Yep. And Black
it's
people in America, it's all a mindset, bro. And Black people in America, we 13-14%. So in my mind, I be thinking, Toriano, like, look, we ain't got the time or the manpower to be bullshitting. Like, we need to be on each other's side, because again, when we look outside of the police shootings, all the shit that go on with racism and all of that, that's a thing that we need to address. But really, if we start fixing how we treat each other, we can weed that shit out one day. But immediately it has to be your brother right next to you. How do you view him? The neighborhood you grew up in. So like you just said, so often you will see a neighborhood full of dudes, and then I'm sick and tired of seeing one nigga come up. He figured out a way to become successful, and now instead of looking at him like a mentor, he food. Now everybody want to come for him. Everybody want to do something. Like, nah, man, that brother is a valuable asset. Pick his brain opposed to picking his pocket. Shit.
Build him up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because he gonna see something in you in that. You know what I'm saying? Help him. We think because we don't have as much, we shouldn't offer nothing to somebody in a higher position. We need to help this position and that position. It's all us. We want to. If they winning, there ain't no reason to not spin with them. They winning already. That's crazy. Our mindset and our mental has been conditioned in a fashion that we don't even really see what's happening to us. We don't talk to ourselves. I had to talk to myself to find where I needed to be. We so busy worried about what somebody else think about what we're doing, if we're going to be successful and if we're going to look good, how we going to look, that we are not even taking action a lot of times.
Real shit, bro. And I tell people all the time, I'm in a one-man race. There's nobody else in my race, family. It's just me. I don't got time to look at what somebody else is doing, how successful somebody else's podcast is, how nice somebody's car is. That shit is futile. You in a race against you.
I'm learning from that person. I'm peeping what they doing. I'm appreciating it, but I'm not no way trying to take from my brother and no way trying to hurt my brother. I want to build him up because, believe it or not, you get out what you put in.
That's in every situation, though, bro.
In the universe, in the world, you get out. You can't cheat it. You can't beat it. You can't rush it. You have to put it in, and it will come out. It's gonna come out as beautifully as you put it in, with the same attitude, grace. But
look,
we don't believe that. We don't want to let nothing go. We don't want to let nothing go.
Real shit. And that's with every situation. And it's an internal thing. Everything's supposed to be internal. Like when you praying, I don't care if you a Buddha, Jehovah Witness, Christian, really you're talking to yourself, man. You got to figure out some things within yourself.
Yes.
Ain't nobody going to come for you. The energy you put out, like you saying, man, well, look, when I started doing this, bro, no idea. Like I'm a brother who grew up stuttering. Like on some real shit, I couldn't get a word out edgewise until 18, 19 years old. But I started doing interviews where I was interviewing fathers. My organization, Melanated Fathers of America, I started interviewing fathers, like transcribing the interview, putting it online, and I gradually got to where I'm at. But it's a process, bro. It's been like 5 years, and I'm still not where I want to be. But I'm in a race against myself, and I told myself a long time ago, I'm just not going to stop. I'm just not going to stop in the people I've been able to meet, bro. The great men I've been able to come into contact with. Sometimes I got to back up and be like, you doing that thing, you just got to keep on going. You know what I mean?
What did you lose? What did you lose in all of that?
Nothing.
Nothing to lose. You can't lose.
Nothing. It's all in building, because I got homeboys I grew up with like everybody do. But building business relationships, building relationships with black men who just got a common mentality. We can call each other for stuff. We can use each other as resources. No hating, but I put out like people be telling me all the time, man, I hate social media. I hate the internet, all that negative shit. I'm like, I don't really fuck with it like that. My shit be pop. I put out a certain energy. So that's what I get back.
Right. You get out what you put in.
Damn right. Now, talk to me about your mentoring program. Boys to Men, is it?
Yeah, I've just decided to, from my chair, I noticed the problem with the children in school, leave the school. We are allowing our children from 5th, 6th grade to just sit up and bold-faced lie to us and them. We are asking our children, what are you going to be? They tell us a lie. We make sure they stick to their lie. And it don't care how big it is. We don't cultivate it. We don't feed it. We don't take them to the library. We don't take them to a museum, a zoo. We don't do nothing to cultivate it. We just, as long as you got that lie, we allow our children to lie to it. They get to the 12th grade. They sit in my chair and I was, so, what's going on? Well, what you going to do? They can't even talk. I'm like, man,
that's real.
And I'm seeing it year after year after year after year. So I decided to, let me grab the 13 to 21, they enter in high school and they enter in full-fledged adulthood at 13 and at 21. So that's, a group that can kind of with each other, but so I bring those guys together and I speak to them about things from the foundation, business, integrity, respect, honesty, leadership. And I just try to reiterate these things in terms of, like I said, doing what you want to do because you can. I think my last one I did vision boards with them, introducing them to what kind of car you want to drive, or what kind of house do you want to live in, what kind of money do you want to make. We need to sit that down. We need to put that on something so you can see it and know that it can happen. Now, what are you going to do to get there? Just showing them some of the ground level steps. Vision boards is not something that we're doing a lot of in the house, in our households, and we should be. We're not aiming the children in a direction. We asking them where they going and letting that slide for 12, 15 years. And then kick them out.
It's funny when you said letting our kids lie, because as soon as you said that, I was thinking, bro, how growing up, most of the young men, right, when somebody asked us what we want to be, we hit them with, I'm going to the NBA.
Yeah.
I'm finna be in the NFL. And we say, good, okay, do it. Not knowing, you know how hard that shit is. You know how much work at that age you're going to have to start putting in. At that age, if you're 13, perfect time to start putting in the work for it. But it's just
16,
an idea.
16, 17, they in my chair. I'm going to the league. I said, well, who's scouting you? Well, I ain't heard of you. I've been out here for a while. I haven't really heard. I'm going to the league. I'm going to the league. And if I don't go to the league, they don't have nothing. And we responsible for allowing this to go on. That's why I had to implement something to speak to them. And I'm currently trying to find out how can I get the family involved. I'm trying more or less. I've gotten some dads to come out, and I've gotten some men figures to come out and kind of give a little support. But I'm trying, because you send them home with that. I can't at this point. I haven't been able to fund it in the amount of time I need to do that. Like at minimum 3 months. I need to do it monthly. I need to do it more than that. But I send them home with this annual game and think that they're going to apply it. They back to the NBA as soon as they leave the program. I'm going to the NBA because there's no food for it. No one even came out to hear what was being told to them to go home and be like, okay, this is what we're going to work on. You said you want this kind of car. The vision board say this. Well, this week, none of that. There's nothing. So, I'm currently, awaiting those funds. They're going to come. I'm putting in my work. So, the funds is going to bless the program, but that's ultimately what I want to do. I want to create a program where they can choose those different what is it? Yeah, different occupations, but different trades is what I really want to. I'm pushing for the trades. I want them to. What can you do? Where are you creative at? What do you like to do? Not what you have to do. Not what you. Somebody have encouraged you to do, but what's going to make you happy? And that sort of thing needs to be cultivated earlier than we're even, we wait until it's time for high school and after high school to give them, you can go to the military. We coming up with that. That's what we coming up with. We don't, have something better than what we didn't cultivate, and that's
and black parents. It's funny you say that, because I know other brothers who have similar type of organizations, and they say, even me at times where I've had young people where I'm talking to, and it's like, I bring them to this environment and give them this good game and this information, then I send them back out to the wilderness. Like I send them back to the environment they came from, and if the parents ain't on board, the shit you told them gonna last a few minutes, but they gotta eat. They gotta get back to. You see what I'm saying? So it's a tug of war sometimes, but that's why, because I'm hell on racism. Like if you watch what I do, I go in on everything. But black parents, goddamn, man, like if you don't like what's going on, you don't like how these young brothers treating each other, it's kind of on us. Like I be telling people, right, Toriano? I see a young dude, 19, just shot up everything. Everybody, oh my God, he shot up everything, put him in jail. He's an animal. I said, wait, who raised him?
Who raised him?
So at 7, was he trying to shoot niggas up at 7? I bet he wasn't. I bet he was talking about cars and goddamn dreams and fly. What happened to that young man's dreams? Who took them from him? You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, we got to unpack this. We got to unpack everything. It ain't just a kid. He's 19. That's a baby with an undeveloped frontal lobe. His brain ain't even fully developed till he's 25, 26. So what made him pick that gun up? Come on now. We can't blame it on the child, can we? You know what I mean?
It's us as parents. We're handing them a device that has every demonic level that you want to go to peer for them to their curiosity to be, just any and everywhere, and we're financing it monthly to make sure that it's there for them. Make sure that they have it.
Yep.
It's failure.
And we have to be. So every time I see tragedies in my community, I know the history of everything. So I know this system done a number on us. And now some of this shit is on autopilot. Real shit. The crabs in the barrel mentality. What they did to us was a travesty, and they owe us for it. But you can take that one or two ways. See, I use it as a source of motivation to keep moving forward and teach people. Ain't no goddamn excuses around here. We ain't got time for it. But we got to keep it real, family. When we have a kid, raise two parents in the home, resources. They can send them to any school they want to. They put them on family vacations. They take time to teach them things. They got stable careers. And the likelihood that that child is going to endure or go into certain type of shit in the street is less likely than a kid who got just a mama, who on drugs or on welfare, who ain't really working. I see young dudes, they 4, 5 years old. I see they mama dragging them along. His hair ain't brushed. He ain't got shoes on. She just called him a nigga 5 times. What is he gonna be doing when he's 16? I'm like, shit, we breeding them to be a particular way, but something happened to him, you're gonna be on the news crying. You see what I'm saying? So that's a us problem, and that's what. So again, that's why I appreciate you, brother, because you could have said, "I'm gonna be a barber, get my money, own this shop, go home." You could do it just like that. But the fact that you seeing him in your chair, like, wait a minute, because the black barbershop is the epicenter to everything you want to know about our community. You want to know about us? Go sit in the black barbershop. We're gonna have the most honest type of dialogue. The kids gonna be there. You're gonna see exactly what it is. You see what I'm saying? So to be in that environment and say, okay, I want to help them, that's important, bro. So you said you a single father of 4, is it?
Absolutely. 3 daughters and a son.
So how was that situation like? Because your Wi-Fi is going out a little bit. So the brother will come back here. No, there we go. Can you hear me? Oh, I think it's Wi-Fi is coming out. The brother will be back here in a minute. But that's intriguing to me, y'all. Whenever I hear like single father, because I wasn't a single father, of course. My kids, they spent time between me and time between their moms. But the biggest thing is like I salute that, because sometimes a lot of brothers get on some shit where if you're not with the woman, like if you're not in a relationship with the woman, then you're going to turn it into something where I'm not good at nourishing like that. So I'm going when it comes to like, because providing is something a man is good at doing, right? Providing, leadership, these are all men things. But when it comes to nourishing the child and making sure they're okay physically, the brother dropped off. I think it's Wi-Fi was tripping, but he'll be back in a minute. He'll be right back. Okay, yeah, he'll be back in a second. Okay, so that's important to me. When you got to give a kid a bath, help them with their homework. If they fall, put something on their knee. Like, you got to do all the shit that's traditionally something a woman does. This is important, family. I think this is why sometimes our families end up the way they are, because a man, we got to be clear as who we are as men. Sometime a man just fucking with a chick, and then while you messing with her, everything good. You're going to come to the house, you're going to see the kid, but it's different when you can just see the kid in the house, make sure they cool, talk to them, play with them for a minute, and just bounce. That's one thing. That's why me being a young father, I'm a father of 5, have 4 kids by the age of 23. The best thing I think I could have done, because I made a lot of goddamn mistakes. The best thing I think I done was bringing kids to my home, telling the women, okay, look, we're not in a relationship no more. Things are going however they're going with us. On these particular days, I'm going to bring these kids into my house. That changed everything about me. You feel me? There go the brother right there. Let's get him back on.
Okay. I lost it.
All right, there we go. We back. So you was telling me about your kids, bro.
Oh, yes. Three girls and a boy. My oldest is 30, 29. My youngest daughter is 24. And my son, I just lost my son. He was 21. He's been 21 this year. He was 20 when I lost him.
Damn.
To gun violence. Yeah, that was August of last year. So that's another something that I'm been a part of my journey that I'm currently still going through, dealing with, and you know, it's another level of, but you know.
Wait, so let me ask you this then, because RIP to your son, brother. I can only imagine how it feels to lose a child, bro. But what did that do to your perspective about how we treat each other? Like we know about all the hoods in our city. We ain't got to talk about it. How these young dudes treat each other, how they so quick to get off. What did that do to your perspective about that when this hits so close to home? You know what I mean?
I have to be honest and say I can't say that it changed it that much. I've been loving my brothers, you know, before, you know, I've been through this, and I can't, you know, each life is precious, you know, as much. That's my son, you know, and that's somebody else's son, and that's somebody else's son, you know. So I'm almost equally affected, you know. Is why I'm actively working to change the trajectory of what's being put out for the youngsters, you know. So I've already, my heart was already torn for other people, you know. I haven't really concluded anything because it's still so new to me, you know. So it kind of, you know, my son had just gotten his license, and at 20 he had successfully harnessed having a career. You know, I was getting that earlier on, and we talking passive income, and we talking buying properties, and you know, at that age. So, you know, that's what I lost, but that's what I was, you know, mainly that's what I'm attempting to do with the children, you know. So it's all a process. I thought I kind of, once he had gotten that far, I kind of was like, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing. I felt like I knew how the business was coming good. I got my son in position because I was trying to line it up to leave here and you know, do whatever, you know. I put in my years, and son, run it, and that's you, and I'm gonna go do something else, and you know, see how artistic I am in something else. But the very day that I felt that thought, like, okay, I know what I'm doing, I got it, I lost my son that night.
Damn.
Right.
Universe had another plan, huh? The universe was like, yeah, you know what you're doing. Let's see.
I don't know nothing. It reminded me what I already knew. Damn. That I didn't know nothing. Yeah.
Damn. And that's so powerful, bro, because you said something that makes that's how I feel. Because look, I tell people all the time, if you're gonna start changing the trajectory in our community, you gotta give a fuck about the kid who died in South Carolina. Yes. You gotta care about the kids getting killed in Chicago. Yes. You literally gotta look at it in that same loving format. Like, damn, they lost the kid, but I feel something. Hey, Toriano, that's the only way you're gonna start changing shit around you is when you have that level of care. And the fact that you said, yeah, I lost my boy, but I've been losing boys all up and down.
Yes.
That's important, fam.
Yes. And because, you know, I think it was sometime, I had began to see my son as myself, and that's where I had learned it at. So I had began to humble myself to my son. So I decided I'm gonna sweep his station when I sweep mine. I don't know how to start doing this humility thing with him, but I'm gonna start by sweeping his station when I sweep mine. You know, and instead of telling him what to do, I'm gonna walk over there with him and show him a couple of times, however, whatever. You know, I'm gonna be more hands-on. I'm gonna do what I would need somebody to do for me, and I began to see my son that way, which kind of broadened the horizon of, you know, my love for the brotherhood, you know. But it was starting at home, you know. It was starting at home.
And that's seeing because I got my two oldest sons. They was born 6 weeks apart. They both 24. Everybody be calling them ghetto twins and shit, but they both 24, both born 6 weeks apart. And I struggle with, because I'm a I went to college, like all intents and purposes. I'm a square dude. Went to college, messed with chicks, hooped, never was involved in no street shit. My sons, they looking at my brothers, other members of my family, and they embarking on somewhat of a different journey. And sometimes I feel helpless, bro, because I'm giving information, and sometimes you see them take it, sometimes you see them don't. But like you were saying, I see myself in them, and I know things I didn't do when they were young kids. Even though I was there, I know some of the dysfunctions I had, so I try to be there for them. But I can only imagine actually going through that. But so like when your kids were younger, they lived in the house with you?
Yeah, my daughters were with me early on. I got my second daughter custody of her when she was like 2. It was just we were splitting. She had one, I had one. You know, me as black man trying to refute the government system of this child support thing. So I'm trying to do my part, you know, and what I could. And this by the time my oldest, I think, was like about 9, and my youngest was 5. My daughter's mom hadn't put her in kindergarten by 6 months into the year, and it took that long for me to realize I keep telling her to do it, but what about you?
Boy, so many times I had to tell myself as a man, you telling motherfuckers what to do. That's kind of your job. Women go at times, and I'm still learning this shit. At times, their focus will be emotionally based. So they'll be here, they'll be there. We know what need to happen. Yeah. We have a logical perspective that needs to be implemented. And sometimes as men, especially me, like not having a dad, not seeing a man operate in my household as a kid, I got to realize how much that affected me. So when I have my own household, I'm like, being what I think is a man, but that you right, bro, because I know fathers, I've been there too, where you see some dysfunction going on with your baby mama. You see things she doing that may be negatively affecting the kid, but the best thing to do, like the most man thing to do, is say, you know what, I'm gonna take over and see how this works out. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So I salute you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because everybody don't do that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my seed, and I couldn't see, you know, allowing myself to, like, you know, I keep telling her to do it, but you know, it dawned on me. It took me a while, you know. I was slow with it, but when it did dawn on me, you know, it's instant. Like, you know what, I'm coming to get her. She ain't in school yet. I'm coming to get her. So I went and got her, and you know, the irony of that, man, is they saved my life. That is what saved my life, and I also credit my children to my success. You know, they kept. I did. First of all, I was a single parent, so ain't nothing else. Yep. Get up and go. Ain't no getting sick. Ain't no nothing. Ain't no staying out too late. Ain't all that. I had to calibrate myself to my children and what I wanted out of them. They all today are taking care of themselves successfully, and you know, of course, they're children and learning their way, but and we're in this world, so you know, like most children and people, they, you know, but they're, of course, they make very few calls home, so that you know,
that's a good sign. They don't need shit from you. That's how you know you did something right.
That's all. I'm gonna just take that part and run with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got some stuff to work on, but they ain't.
Of course. No. Of course. And I'm always telling people, bro. Toriano, bro, that's revolution in our community, man. That's the first place it starts. Charity starts at home. So you can do a whole bunch of shit everywhere, like for people and for your friends or whatever. But your kids are future. Like, you focusing on kids, this is the point. They gon' look, in 2035, I don't want my kids dealing with police brutality. I don't want my kids in a neighborhood where all the moms is single, where it's hella shit just going all rambunctious. I'm like, at some point, we're going to have to stop this shit. And it's the kids. It's the fathers. Like, I'm, again, I know what the system did to take the fathers outside of the home. Yes. I'll never take that off the table. Yes. But even with that,
However,
We all got to start looking at each other and say, okay, maybe I'm not that little boy father, but I'm his uncle, I'm his cousin, I'm a dude. I see him in the neighborhood. I'm gonna give him a little bit of game, whether he want to hear it. I'm not gonna preach to him because you got to be careful with the young dudes. Like you can't be too preachy.
a little bit at a time.
You got to spoon feed them because shit, to lead people, you got to feed people. So sometimes you could go to them on the corner and say, hey, get off this corner, nigga, ain't nothing popping. And be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I need some money, OG.
Right.
You gonna do that for me? If not, get out the way so I can get this bag.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's
so we
all
gotta
they
be
want, too. And it's aggression after that. So if you ain't feeding them, man, you fool.
If you ain't feeding them, they go start feeding on your ass.
You fool, man. You know what I'm saying? That's law right there.
You know what I mean?
You gotta
you gotta feed the people, and all this is important, bro. So that brings me to, so you were a part of a book, right? It's called like Letter to Black Children.
Yeah, Letter to Our Black Children.
So I see you had a chapter in that book. Were you talking like your experience as a father? Ooh, there we go, right there on hand. That's how you promote it, right there, boy. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's just just my little part of just helping the children to understand. I'm supposed to show you
There we go.
Kind of. It's just an insert. Just kind of just a little bit of my journey. It's just a little something to give them, to let them know that they too can, because it's really nothing special about me except just really walking order steps, so that's what makes me look good, the book and all that. I want to write a book, so this is like the podcast. This is just I'm sampling. Okay? I'm gonna have best seller on here one day on my podcast. I'm gonna be talking to you.
I'm whenever you ready, and I'm gonna give you any information you need, bro. So you can, what I mean? That's how it's supposed to go, because I think sometimes we forget that our individual story can help people. Everybody has like an individual story, and all my partners I see that are business owners, that are great fathers, I'm gonna have them on the show. I'm gonna always tell them, hey, let's showcase great Black men. Some men we put our head down and just do shit a lot of times.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. Pick your head up, bro. Talk about that. Yeah. Tell a young dude, because a young dude, he think he about to rap. He think he about to sell dope. If he know he can have a trucking company, if he know he can own a vending machine, a barbershop, lawyer, doctor, goddamn firefighter. Come on, you ain't gotta necessarily have a business, but go into something structured and consistent for your family. That's cool, because in the hood, I never seen a lawyer, like a cool one though. That'd be our problem sometimes
at all. And if it was, he didn't look nothing like me.
He was too square and uptight, and we didn't want nothing to do with him. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, we need to see brothers who look like us. Yeah, who got the same kind of goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I do a lot of that. I meet the children where they at. So I get the opportunity to do certain things to I bait them into the conversation just for awareness. I start talking about the Jordans, and then man, you spending that? How you get here though? Oh, you walking? That's why I spend 60 on mine, because I'm not doing that walking, man. You need to get your license, and I'm talking to him about a license. And, why you ain't got it? I had an adult today. He said he just got out, but he had to be about 34, 35, talking about the police don't pull you over when you don't got no weapon in the car. I'm like, man, you need to get your license. So it's the 13 to 21 is just the still impressionable of some sort. But then there's, I'm talking to brothers that's 35s and 40s, and these dudes is calling me Unc. I'm like, man, I'm not. Man, you need, and it's just based on what they seeing me do. But I'm trying to tell, I'm looking for ways to help them understand that you possess the same thing. It's just an application. You need to apply yourself to all of that. How many people tell me what I should do? You should do this and you should do that. I'm like, man, you should do it.
Yeah.
I got 1,000 things that I should do already for myself.
I'm busy. Nigga, why don't you do it?
Man, but it's a great idea and you should do it. But they don't feel that confidence. They haven't been built up. They haven't, these are things that, we laugh at people who don't know in our culture. Oh, bro, you don't know. Oh, bro, don't know what. And we not educated. We making people feel bad, and then they don't want to try nothing. They don't want to. They scared of failing in front of people, and social media has amplified that to people scared to be themselves
all day long.
Just who God made you to be. They scared to be that.
Yep.
And that's where everything lies at. You trying to be 100 different people and don't know who you are.
Trying to be 100 different people, and that male ego is a motherfucker, man. When sometime as men, when we don't know, we get mad. Like if it's an area of life we're not familiar with and we're uncomfortable, you got to walk in the uncomfortable. So that's the thing about everything. You got to, everybody listen to the sound of my voice. Anything you looking to do the first 6, 7 months, 9 months, 2 years, whatever, 3, it's going to be uncomfortable while you're figuring it out. And sometimes you may feel like you don't know. You may feel a little stupid. You're asking questions and you get an answer and it sounded obvious. So what? Like, fuck that. You got to get to where you want to go. Put your pride in your back pocket. Sometimes we walk around with our pride on our shoulder. I'm like, if you don't put that away and get, you know what I mean?
Right. We do a lot of that. Getting upset because we don't know. It's our go-to, and it speaks to our ignorance, basically.
Yes.
It speaks to our is the ignorant getting amplified. Because you're upset now. You're doing something stupid. So that's that. I came to a revelation recently, and this kind of speaks to it. We let me just talk to black men. We haven't been spoken to or taught about testosterone and its possibilities.
Ooh.
Right. You know how much stuff is behind testosterone, how much we do behind testosterone, and we don't have no education on it.
Yep.
We don't have no understanding that, you got to check that because of that or how you doing. We don't get nothing. That's like letting us move in the airplane. That's crazy. Move from the airplane at 5 years old or something. You know what I'm saying? But that's the like the core. We need to get to that.
We need to get that testosterone because you couldn't find that job, because you didn't understand the application. Let somebody step on your shoe that same day. You got your thing in your pocket, so now you Superman. You feel me?
Run into somebody road rage. Your road rage is through the roof right now.
Knock him off, and somebody say, "What happened?" Well, his girl just broke up with him. His mama told him he had to get out. He got refused for that job. He's still on probation. He couldn't really figure out some information somebody was trying to give him. He's a fish out of water. So, at what point will he not implode? You see what I'm saying?
There's no place for us with that. We don't have nobody to talk to. We don't have no release, and we're expected to take that and go back out there and take it some more. Some more.
It's crazy, bro, because for the first time in my life, like last week, I had to spend 48 hours in jail. It was on some bullshit or whatever, but just doing what I do every day, it was a perspective builder. Because I'm thinking 48 hours, county jail, small amount of time, but the level of isolation, the level of animal treatment, how these brothers are treated, how they're looked upon. I'm thinking to myself, Toriano, okay, any man that has to endure this for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, and you expect him to get out and just go fill out a job application? He has to unpack all that animalistic treatment. You can't treat somebody like an animal and expect them to go home and be civilized.
There's nothing for you.
Dude.
And everybody know it. And everybody know you expected to perform. Smile too. While you smile, we need you smiling. We can't accept you without that smile, even though we know what you're going through. And then sometime as a man, you get to tell everybody what you're going through. You get to tearing up a little bit. You know how we do, little black boy. Shut up. Quit crying. Be a man. I'm like, I was there as a parent. Now I'm older, I think. You better let that boy cry just real quick. You can't just walk around fucking crying. But let him express himself real quick. Because he hold it in.
who knows who he gonna unleash it on? You know what I mean?
That's an emotion, and he should be allowed to have it. Now, we're not gonna hang
that's
out
an
there
emotion.
all day. Yeah, we ain't gonna just. You ain't finna just do that all day, but that's an emotion. You allowed to feel that way, you know. And that's another thing. As growing up, you know, I was that. Shut up, quit crying. You know what I'm saying? You suck it up. You sound like a girl. You know, so you know, we grow up and we have to learn or relearn how to express our emotions as men, and sometimes we never. And that's where that testosterone come in, and it'll stand up for us, and it'll be our protection, you know, and it'll ward people off. But it's unhealthy as it can be, though.
It's unhealthy. So when we talk about high blood pressure, when we talk about diabetes, everybody want to point to our food, like our soul food is damn near casket, like the food we eat to have fun at times. Fuck our body up, but really the mental anguish sometimes of just being black in America, man. As black men, that's why I'm such a big proponent of knowing history. None of it's gonna lead you to being excuse driven, but know your history to know how you feeling. You walk in a room and you feel kind of uncomfortable. You feel like they looking at you. Yeah, they looking at you. Yeah, you should be uncomfortable. You in a white man's world, family, but that don't mean you can't ball out. That don't mean you can't help people. That don't mean you can't that don't mean you can't do nothing but feel it. Right. It's okay to feel that.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And those are real feelings. You know, those are real feelings.
Yeah.
You know? And the sad part is we almost can't even share those feelings amongst each other.
That's why I like this. That's why I create this space, bro. Because I tell my friends sometime, look, sometimes you get around men, Toriano, and you got a couple areas. Y'all gonna talk about women, y'all gonna talk about sports, y'all gonna go to these safe areas, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas when you got friends, sometimes you should pull them to the side and say, bro, you was talking to me about what's going on with your girl. What's up with that? How you hey hit him with this? You gotta hit him with this. How you feel about that? That's gonna make a man. He gonna start talking. You see what I'm saying? Because we don't get asked that. Our women are emotionally based. They're gonna talk. They're gonna tell us how they feel. Sometimes you gotta ask your brother, bro, not how you doing. Fuck all that. How you feel today, family?
How you feel? Yeah.
What's going on with
you? My brothers like that. You know, that's the blessed thing about my environment, man, is you can actually feel what you like. Clients, it's not surprising for a client. It's a daily thing almost. For clients to be like, man, I appreciate what's going on here. I appreciate what I see. I appreciate the invite. The music is so nice. They actually feel. We just started doing Collar Friday, you know, so we putting the collars on Friday. We do white shirts and bow ties on Saturday. So, you know, we just stepping it up one step at a time. And the clients don't even know what they feel, but they feel it. They didn't know that it was the bow ties. They were like, man, did the music, y'all just look so good, you know, but they ain't peeping. It's just the collar, just one little step towards Black excellence and perfection and being yourself, yet still displaying, you know, some professionalism and business oriented people, you know, Black people, young Black people, you know, it's so many aspects that's being displayed here, and the environment is being felt by those that come in, and that's, you know, that's priceless.
That's beyond priceless, and some people don't even get the mental part of it. Like, put on a bow tie and a suit, nigga. You're less likely to go there. You know what I mean? You feeling all elegant.
You're so much likely to go there. You know what I mean? You put that on, you gonna go do, man. Somebody got to see me in this. You gonna treat yourself to a dinner that you just, boy, you can't tip, but boy, I'm here though. You know what I'm talking about?
That's important.
Coming. You know, so
yes,
we
sir.
need to treat ourselves like that a little bit more, just in the attire, you know, just in the smell good and the, you know, just doing something to make yourself feel good, so you can act a little bit better and be treated a little bit better. You know, we gotta do 10 times what the average person do, man.
Yep.
We got not only law enforcement and other races, but this is an internal problem. Yes. We look at each other, so we got to look good. I mean, and a brother less likely to think anything that he thinking when you got your bow tie, your collar on, you know, your shoes on.
What can he say? He know you ain't on
You
no
want to know where
bullshit.
you going, man? Where you going? Where's you going? Man, I'm going to work, man, at the barbershop. Yeah, man. So just that kind of enlightenment is what I'm able to provide, and that that's priceless. I was telling my nephew the other day, I was like, man, fly cuss ain't made no money. I don't make no money in this barbershop. Toriano the barber makes money. I got to get in there and make the money, but the business hasn't made money for some years. So it ain't all this boss, I'm gonna be a boss stuff. It ain't all peaches and cream all the time. It ain't all filled with just ball out. I'm going to Vegas and trips. It's had to be for me providing this platform for 5 and 6 different families to eat, and now I might get to the point where some of that might start spilling over, but I've had to tell people we're not gonna be able to have you here. My son works here. My daughter works here. My sister's son works here. My brother from another mother and his son works here. I got another nephew that just grew up here, and our bond just he been around me for 15 of these barber years, and he didn't turn barber. So I can't just bring anybody into that space. So it's been a long time. I mean, I worked with other people, but there was no growing. These old barbers that just didn't want to grow, just don't want to, that it's their choice. It's a comfort thing. Let me just call it that. It's a comfort thing. Certain people get.
Yep.
And
I've seen that in black businesses in general, because I have a notary company. My wife has a funeral home, like I said, and sometimes because we come from corporate America, so owning the business in the black community, that was par for the course for us, and we own our history, like we know everything about black folks, so we're not gonna get in that environment and treat y'all a certain way. But we learned sometimes black business owners, because their constituents are all black, they don't feel the need to show out for them. They don't feel the need to roll the red carpet out. I know my clientele, I know who coming, they just black, but we tell you, hey, we got a white family coming in. Now everybody got their best on. Now everybody got their Sunday best. I said, that nigga mentality is something else, boy. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, no.
Deep rooted though. Deep rooted.
Yeah.
In a rush to get, oh man, he coming on. But our brothers, we feel like we could just get him any man. And that's another one of the things that the things that I've changed around here. I hug my brothers. I tell them I love them. You know what I'm saying? I see them next time. I talk to them like we were just talking about. I talk to them. I get into their families, how the children doing, man, how your son doing. I have people call me about their children. Man, my son doing this and that, and just for some resolve, just so happen. I guess I've been doing this long enough that, I could shuffle this stuff around, and, I have, I guess, very useful knowledge in certain areas that people, call about their children, and I'm very humble and respect that position in place, that they see me that way, that I can give somebody some advice about their child, That's a humbling place right there.
It's humbling, and it's a big responsibility.
It is.
Like we were saying, as men, a lot, because first off, all of us should have went and got some kind of counseling. Single parent, grew up in the hood, dad not there, crack cocaine in the 80s and 90s. Yes. You need to go sit down and talk to somebody, a non-biased individual who can hear you out. And sometimes we never had that. Mama wasn't listening to you, your grandma wasn't listening to you, and now you think, ain't nobody gonna listen to me. You see what I'm saying? So you get a man that can go back and forth with you. That's what your dad was supposed to do, what your uncles was supposed to do. Like, we got a hella missing pieces. That we ain't really realized. Damn, I needed a daddy. We get like,
how could you realize what you missing if you never had it?
How? Yeah.
How could you know that this is what's wrong with me? I got my father was not there. That's a whole part of me that I don't know about myself. Yep. And I'm behaving like this dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like you look like him, but I don't know how to, control that testosterone concerning that, control that mentality, that mindset. I'm not even taught about mindset. These, just certain things that just the father is so much of a missing element, and it's a sad thing that we got duped out of that,
Yep.
For money, for and convenience. But I mean, we passed that, but just what is missing concerning that, man, is just it's unfathomable.
And we have to stop acting like the shit didn't happen, because we love to turn up, we love to have some fun, and that's some African shit. I get it.
Good.
But you got to realize the fact that how you was raised was wrong, man. Being raised with just one mom, no resources, public school, that wasn't right. You was treated unfairly.
Right. Yes.
Feel it. You know what I mean?
Acknowledge it and let me know that this is real, and help me get from that place to this place, because there are some parts that I'm gonna be stutter stepping at, because I don't know. I feel something, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel something, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I should it's a whole part of these children that are missing. And if you knew how many nephews and godchildren and people that adopted me, I'm so adopted, man. I got a whole, man. Boy, my family better stop playing, man. They don't know who I got. I got, man, and I love it too. It's been a big part of my purpose, just being that in the community, being that, that figure in the community that people can get anything from, just whether it's advice or whether it be, something on their back or something for their stomach, whatever it is, it's just, there's nothing been more rewarding than that, that particular part of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a whole reward situation to be in the community, but it's a lot of things that we really need to take accountability and responsibility for. The black man and the woman really need to have a conversation. I think that if they haven't realized, they should realize right now it's time to start listening and stop talking. Just
well, you got 2 ears.
Exactly.
Mouth.
And I mean, because I see them. It's an influx of women working 2 jobs. It's an influx of it, and if they haven't realized, that's the man of the job that you having to work. You didn't talk to him out the house. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, don't tell him that now. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him.
I'm trying to help him. I'm trying to help us. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But it can't just be the man listening and the woman talking, and that's it. That's just not. We've been talked into the man is out the house. You working 2 jobs. The kids are suffering. How far do we gotta go before somebody start listening to somebody else?
I'm an independent woman. I don't need no scrubs. Them was jams, but that shit was toxic as hell.
Man, do you know you didn't talk to a man in the passenger seat for that a good couple years though? You couldn't even be with y'all had to drive 2 cars, bro, because of these songs that they really going off of. That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Toriano, and I always tell my sisters, because we gotta be accountable both ways. But Here's the joke: there's no independent white women. They don't say it. They don't preach it. They don't talk about it. I ain't independent. No, I need my goddamn man here.
That?
Yeah.
Who don't know where they bread? Who don't know, boy, the hand that feed you don't know that? We just lost it some kind of way, but you got to remember, they were offered food, clothes, and shelter, which is the basic needs of the human. And, this dude ain't working anyway. We ain't hiring him. They ain't saying that part. They saying he ain't working. So the woman is getting frustrated. He trying to get this job. Baby, I didn't get a job again. She tired of hearing that.
Yep.
So
I'm going to take this welfare.
Get
out, nigga. They come to look for your shoes. Get out.
She designed to protect her children. You can't get no job. That's a design. She cut like that. You can't change that. So I don't need you. And that's how they felt. And what they didn't realize was, I mean, maybe they did. It was all against us the whole time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it was a rock in the hard place for them. But what they chose then is why there's 2 jobs being worked and there's no protection in the house. And I need a man for this and that. But you too independent for him. Ain't no place for him. You can spell independent out. and sung it.
Yeah. Hey, did they? Hey, they spelled the whole goddamn word out, didn't they?
And sung it. And sung it. Hey, bro, like, well, guess I'll get my little jacket and shoes.
You know what I mean? There has to be a yin and a yang. And we need to step back and say, black man, it's not your fault. Black woman, it's not your fault. They played us against each other, and the shit's been on autopilot for 50 some odd years now.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Too upset to have the conversation because we too busy pointing the finger. And
we both fucked up. I always tell Toriano, we at the bottom of a slave ship arguing. We all at the bottom of the ship, looking up, arguing with who? They up there laughing. Stop it.
You know, the saddest part is it's only one thing we got to do and we refuse.
What's
just
that?
Get together. We just got to get together.
Love each other.
We just got to get together and agree that we done with that. That's over with. We're not living like that no more.
Simple as that.
You don't even have to really put down too much of what we not living like. We already know what we not living like. We done with that. And if we decide that, it's all over with. And everybody know it.
Yep.
Everybody know it but us.
And everybody know it. And they know if we let them come back together, if we let them be a strong family unit, none of us got a shot.
Everybody's over with.
So we got to make sure they keep dancing and singing.
Arguing.
Yeah.
I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Light skin, light skin is out. You know, I'm better than you. You know, and that's where we at as a people. You know, we gotta see each other as ourselves, man, and want for each other what we want for ourselves, man. Or we're gonna be on that hamster wheel for another 50 years, arguing.
Well, now,
thinking we better than each other, arguing at the bottom of the slave ship.
Yep, but I think it takes brothers to speak this into the universe. Like, we have to be aware. Even me, because I was a part of, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I've been a part of the problem before. How I chose to procreate, how I chose to lie to these women and do what I seen my brothers and my family members did. I can admit, man, I was wrong, and I see the results of those bad decisions today. Yes. But women got to do the same thing. Men and women got to do the same thing. Where did you learn those behaviors? Yep. You know what I mean? I was growing up in Oakland and in the early 70s, 80s, and the pimping was at an all-time high. I knew I was gonna be a pimp. Now, at first, I knew. But the dress and the shoes, the ladies, the cars, the money, I didn't even need to see another profession. You know? So the behavior, because I talk to myself and I try to identify, where did I get this behavior? Why did I just start wanting to be like this or deal with this or that? And I look back at, that's where I got my first understanding of what, the money, the everything. That was the full package right there. That was the full package. And them brothers, them brothers was everything the American dream said it should be. Absolutely. And the biggest thing, like the pimps in the 70s, they lived outside of this system. That was so attractive that he smelled good. He had a nice car. Yes. His lingo was together. Yes. He had the money. He had the women. Now, we ain't got to the pimping yet. Just his persona was like, oh, shit. You ain't seen him work. You just looking at him. He's man. Bigger than life. And you like, and then when he talk to you, he's so smooth and he smell good. You like, wait a minute. And he ain't listening to no white man. Where do I sign up at? He is own man. He is own man. What? Yep. He doing what he want to do. So, we sometimes we have to look at what cultivated us and what didn't. Where we get this information, so we can look at ourselves and take back what we supposed to be. It's the conditioning. It's all a conditioning, and it's when you're conditioned the way you're conditioned that way. That's beyond you. That's beyond you. But until you recognize you're being conditioned, you're gonna blame people. Yeah. You're gonna you gonna like misguide what should happen when in actuality, nah, they did it to all of us. You know what I mean? So something else I want to touch on before we go, bro. So August 7th, you having this barbecue, right? Talk to everybody about the barbecue and like how long you've been doing it. There we go. There we go.
Okay. Sunday, August 7th.
Barbecue. That's
Barbecue, you know, the barbers, Sacramento barbers, you know, that's my son in there. He made the flyer. Okay, woo, woo. Yeah, that's my son, that's my daughter in there, you know, that's my crew right there, that's my family, you know, that's the Fly Cut family. Yeah, they all are selflessly, it's a lot of work, selflessly doing putting on this barbecue. Man, we're gonna have a raffle. We're gonna have a live DJ. We're gonna have a children's jumper. The adult and the children's pinata. Last year, we accidentally let the children hit the adult pinata. I was so embarrassed. You know what I mean? But you know, we recovered everything we could, everything they didn't touch. You know, but yeah, man, we're gonna have a water balloon battle. We having vendors. We having a children dance battle. We have so much fun. We get outside of the barbershop with the community, let them see us outside of the barbershop. You know, they see us in all year. We just take some time to meet with everybody. Free food, you know, just everything for the people, you know, just everything for the children, you know, just for us to get together as people, community, just, you know, a lot of time when you don't have to spend the money, man, that make it a lot, your attitude's nicer and you're having a lot more fun, you know. So all they have to bring is a lawn chair and come out and have fun, you know, enjoy themselves, you know.
Yes, sir. And I'm gonna make it out there to that, brother.
Oh man, that's a big thing, man. That's a big thing right there. I know you might have a couple people with you. I'm gonna order some more plates, man.
Definitely. Well, brother,
yeah, that's a big thing. I look forward to meeting you too, man. That's a big thing.
Yes, sir, man. Because I've seen how long you've been doing your thing in Sacramento, man, and everything you stand for, brother. And that's all I'm about. So we're gonna keep connecting, brother. So I appreciate you.
Credit for all of it. Bink Fred was the owner of Fly Cuts before me, so he kind of started a lot of this. He mentored me into a lot of this position. To most of it, he got me going with everything, a lot of understanding and knowledge. You know, he was real resourceful with everything. He always gave me the game on everything. So, you know, and he came from up under Lord Tony. So it was like, you know, Lord Tony, he left Lord Tony's and brought me here, and he can continue to feed me and grow me up, you know, made sure my wings was ready before I flew out. And then once I came back, he sold me the place, and it's been flourishing. So I want to, you know, a special shout out to Fred for that, and, you know, make sure he, you know, understand how much appreciated he's done it for a lot. He's done a lot for a lot of people too. So, you know, I want to make sure he get his mission too, though, you know.
Definitely. And I appreciate it. And and how I see it, bro, just on some real shit, your spirit, you're gonna keep winning, bro. The understanding of how I got here is like masterful to because sometimes people can get successful or get somewhere, work hard, and they be like, this shit was so hard, I don't care who helped me. Damn it, it's me. You know what I mean?
I did this. It's all, and it feel like that, but nah, man, no. Nobody didn't get nowhere by themselves.
You can't.
You
actually can't. You know what I mean?
You need some help. You need some information, some direction, some guidance.
All day long.
Coaching and tutoring. Yeah, so, yeah, man. I was fortunate enough, you know, and the soil is blessed, man. It's like you could feel it. So, you know, I'm so grateful for that, man. There's nothing like working in a place where you know, you're happy to go. It's comfortable.
That's what work should be about.
The people you work with actually love you and care about you, looking out for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I've worked. I've got fired from other places. Let me say, and I say I worked. I got fired from other places. It wasn't like that. So I was able to be a part of what God allowed me to be in creation of, you know, and have the like-minded, spirited people and family. So, you know, it's man, I'm living the dream.
That's how it's supposed to be. Work, you're not supposed to go to work and not like it. You're not supposed to go to work and can't wait to get off. No, all this shit can kill you, bro. All this shit can be stressful. It can take years off your life. Like we have to know how blessed we are if we get up and do something we really want to do. It sounds cliche, but most Americans do not get up and do that.
Upwards of 90%.
That's just a fact.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
Most Americans don't know what they want to do because they've been doing something for somebody else telling them to do for so long.
Yep.
They haven't had time to figure out who they actually are or what they like. I talk to people like that. So I've been a part of helping people figure out they business. I didn't talk to D-boys into business, just like, man, you take that, but it's the same thing. Simplify it for them, like, man, go down there and get that little license, that little truck driver, that little food handler, and they've done it. And I have successful clients that still, so man, is nothing more purposeful than that kind of stuff right there. The money gonna come. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Money gonna come. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, but it seems like, brother, you impacting people's lives, and regardless of how much you like garner financially, that impact on these people's lives is going to affect them forever. And I'm Toriano. That's what I be thinking about. Like, I don't think about my demise, but I think about, like, damn, when someone's not here no more, what are we all left with? Like, only thing you left with is what they was able to do. Not really what they said, to be honest. You left with their actions. And sometimes if you do it right, you ain't never gonna die. Really. You see what I'm saying?
You hitting them points right there. You hitting them points.
You see what I'm saying?
That's an understanding right there. That's an understanding. That's a certain level of understanding of life and death and that thereof,
Yeah, so, because being that my wife is at this funeral home, I'm seeing funerals all the time. I'm always looking at obituaries and doing what I do now. My perspective changing. I'm like, wait a minute, let me see all the stuff this brother done. Okay, he ain't went nowhere. Look at all the people he impacted. His body not here, but he ain't went nowhere. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So he's living, and that's life. We don't die, man. We, our energy goes to somewhere else. This our energy leave this here. You know what I mean? But we don't die. Yeah, that's like I said, that's an understanding, and that's kind of a lot of what I learned in my short time with my son. I learned about time, how important it is, and what you do with it.
Oh,
so I was lucky to be able to, spend that time with my son. And when it was time to hand him back to whence he came, I felt like I did everything I had to do because, I did everything that I was supposed to do. So when I didn't have nothing, man, I wish I would. Everything that I wish I would have did, the day didn't come. I wasn't able to leave him the shop. I ain't left yet. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Future stuff, but everything that I was supposed to do, he made a billboard. He was able to see himself on a billboard. So, the time I spent well, you know what I mean? So I felt, the relationship was complete as it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know what I mean? So
there you go. That's the best perspective, brother, because we should all realize everything we possess, everything we have, everything we do, every commodity we've garnered, time is the only one you can't get back. Time is the only one you can't get back. So how you spend your time? Like I tell people, if you have an event and I show up, I gave you something better than money.
Yes,
my time is my currency, family. You
that
show up
is the real currency,
man. Come on now,
that's the money.
Come on,
that's
now.
The money. That's the. I've been telling people that around the shop, man. Time is the real currency.
Yeah.
All that other stuff, man, it's stuff.
It's stuff, and that shit gonna go and come and get old. You ever bought some fly ass shit you've been waiting to buy, and you jump in it or you put it on, and 30 minutes later you're like, yeah, this shit, it's all right.
Hey, man. And then you don't really, you know what I'm saying? And don't let somebody give you something. You don't care about it. If you ain't spend your money on it, you really, you really don't care about stuff that you didn't invest in. You can't really get that care about it. So, like I said, it all comes down to that time. That time you put in that, and that how many haircuts you did to get to that car, whatever that is that you respect it more.
That's the real currency. So sometimes because I see people envying people with nice shit, and I'm like, wait a minute. When I see a brother with a nice car and he get out that thing and he look back at it, I'm like, he ain't thinking about how expensive the car was most times. He's thinking about what the fuck he had to do to get that thing.
Y'all don't understand.
Y'all don't understand.
How long I've been wanting it though? What I had to do? How many early mornings, late? Man, you don't understand. When you see this thing,
that's what it's about. It ain't flossing on you.
It takes
you can feel that way. This ain't about you, nigga. You know what I had to do to get them rims?
Right. Man, we need somebody to come put some respect on it, man. You see me, man? Come respect it, man. Don't hate on me, man. I do not need that right now, man. You know, I grinded for this.
On everything, brother. So I appreciate you coming on the show, man. We're going to talk offline about your show and how I can help you with that, because I'm the exact same way you are when I see a brother trying to do something. So everybody, we appreciate this brother's energy, man. We need to salute this brother. Pray for this brother. Keep him in your prayers. If you're in the Sacramento area, stop by the shop just to say what's up. Like, we need to salute Black men who doing the right thing. We killing each other. We disrespecting each other. What the fuck you doing to stop it? That's my message to everybody out there. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care where you live at. I don't care what kind of job you got. None of that shit really matters at the end of the day. What are you doing to affect change in your community? So brothers like this is greatly appreciated. Toriano, do me a favor, brother, and tell everybody where they can reach you. Like, give me your Instagram and everything.
Toriano the Barber. You can find me at mindingmyown.business on Instagram. And I got a Fly Cuts and Styles barbershop page, and Toriano on Facebook, just my regular life. And come to the shop, 6955 Stockton Boulevard, Sacramento, California, 95823, 399-8165, and that's in the 916. Come check us out, man. Just come visit us. You don't have to get a haircut. You're gonna get one, but just
go in there on Saturday when they got their bow ties on and whatever. You know what I mean?
Ties, man. Them bow ties, them collars, them hard bottoms, man. We out here doing it, man. We represent for our people, man. For our people. To encourage our youth to letting them understand that you could look like this and be that. You could be yourself. No.
There you go, brother. So everybody, I appreciate everybody who was reaching out to me last week when I had my little debacle. You know what I mean? I talked about it, whatever. But this is your brother, man. We're going to keep putting in this work. We're going to keep having these great dialogues. If you haven't done so already, go to melanatedconvo.com. We just created the website where the show and the news stories I talk about, the history information I talk about, all of this is available at melanatedconvo.com. Continue to support me, continue to ride with me, family. This has been one hell of a journey, y'all, and I'm just getting started in my mind. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody who rock with your boy. Follow me at Melanated Convo 100 on Instagram, Melanated Convo on YouTube, Melanated Convo on Facebook, Harrison Anderson on Facebook. That's my personal Facebook page. Again, I appreciate everybody for riding with us, man. This is the Melanated Convo. Harrison, Toriano, we out of here, family.
Blessings. Thank you, man.